Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. I am trying to locate my church's snippet. I'm going to find it, but all this week we're giving shout out to Daryl Cheney. And the concert that was rendered 2 weeks ago. I'm going to find all of those clips. Daryl Cheney, I'll probably have you on as a guest this week just to talk about the overwhelming experience that was experienced at your concert. I think this is his group that has just sang, sung. I apologize. And I want to give credence to those groups. Thank you, Daryl Cheney, for what you've done and what you are doing. Listen, y'all, it is Passion Week. It is Passion Week. So as you're coming in the chat, put Passion Week and then put release. Yesterday, I was going to do something different in Capricares, but the word release hit me, and it's just where we are. And we go back and forth with how we release certain things. I know I'm on an hour early, so y'all already know what that means. The hour that I do not have to share with y'all is already taken by another obligation. But while we in that space, we say good morning to you, Capricare family. Know that I care that I know. It's a magnificent Monday. Put in the chat release. What do I need you to do? Red Sea Rules. Make sure you have this book. This is our book for Bible study. We are in chapter number 2, or rule number 2. How successful people grow. You got to have this book. You got to have those 2 books. These are the 2 books we'll be using for the year. And then my other textbook, I can't show you because I don't have basically the rights to show that book yet. But it's all right. Listen, good morning to you, ma'am and sir. Again, put in the chat release. What do you need to release? What do you need to release? And why is the release so important? It's one of the things you're going to have to identify that you need to release is things that lack spiritual power in your life. Yeah, there are some things in your life that just lack spiritual power. Now, of course, you know, I'm a pastor. I love to teach. I love to pastor. I love to serve people. But there comes a point and a place where you really recognize that there are some things in your life that lack spiritual power. Now, I'm going to take that from the sermonnotebook.org, and it's the outline that Alan Carr has given us. And I'm grateful that I can implement that in the lesson today, because those things that lack spiritual power do not deserve my attention, especially as much as I'm giving it. It lacks spiritual power. Number 2, not only does it lack spiritual power, it is limited in its spiritual presence. Number 1, it lacks spiritual power. Number 2, it's limited in its spiritual presence. There are some things that I and places and possibly people and paradigms that lack the spiritual power and limited in its spiritual presence. I just have to do that. That's what I have to do. In order for me to stay me and add value to me, I have to identify the things that lack spiritual power and that's limited in its spiritual presence. Because you are present does not really assure me that you are present, that you add value by just being present. And I go to the Bible. Job had some friends that were present but didn't add value to the situation. And I have to rearrange and restructure some things in my life when I finally come to the realization that there are some things that lack spiritual power and are limited in their spiritual presence. And those are the things that have to be released. Yeah. There's no way out. There's for me now. I'm not the end all, but there's no way around this. You lack spiritual power. You are limited in your spiritual presence. Mhm. Good morning to you. Comment. Good morning. Good morning. I'm on early, my friend. I'm on early. Good morning. I got lots to do today. Is are the things that we're sharing? Does it make sense, Antoinette? I'm just asking. So it lacks spiritual power. It's limited in its spiritual presence. And listen, thirdly, Antoinette, if it lacks spiritual power and is limited in its spiritual presence, thirdly, it has lost its spiritual provision. Hmm. It has lost its spiritual provision. Could you put that in the chat for me? And there might be a few things that I'm looking for provision, but it's lost it because of its presence and its power. The power is gone, the presence is gone, the provision is not there. And I need to make sure that when the power, the presence, and the provision is not there, I have to release it. I have to develop a criteria. I have to develop a criteria to release some things, and it's okay. So, how do I develop that criteria? It's different from everybody. But the more I add value to me, the more I add value to me, the more I add value to me, the easier it is for me to distinguish and discern when something has lost its spiritual power, when something has lost its spiritual mhm, presence, when something has lost its spiritual provision. Now, I still could be loyal, but it's like that doesn't provide that anymore. And that's sometimes a difficult place to be in. But what do we call that place? We call that place transition. So I'm learning today, just this week, I want to focus in not on the lost of the power, the presence, of the provision. I'm not doing that. What I want to focus in on today is how do I add value to me in the midst of the lost? Because Jesus Christ brings us an illustration. There was a lost sheep, there was a lost shekel, and there were two, excuse me, lost sons. So, in the event you're walking through a season where you're trying to release some things and learning to deal with a loss, it's okay. Just know this: you are in transition, and you ought to thank God for the transition. And the more you pay attention to you and grow you, I promise you, the God of the universe will bring you into a company of people who can appreciate your growth. Because I've learned everybody cannot appreciate your growth. And when your growth is not appreciated, don't stop growing. It's a great day to be great. It's Capricares. Know that I care that I know. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning to you, beloved. Y'all do me a favor, hit like and share. I will see y'all tomorrow. Possibly this time again, Nikki, depending on how these meetings go today. Hit like and share. Share this video. Share it as a text message. Share it on your pages, and know that, hey, It's okay. Just shout release and release it. Peace and blessings.